How do you personally deal with the fact that you're going to die? I've long accepted the fact that I'm probably going to die young. It used to be a huge source of stress, but as time goes on you realize it's not worth tainting the time you do have. We're all gonna go eventually. It's a great way to view it, on my opinion. We don't know how long we have on this dusty rock, so enjoy every day as best you can, so at least you go satisfied with what you did. Damn, all these positive-minded people. And here I am wanting to just get it over with, but too much of a coward to do it, and have one of two things happen. 1. I die and then there's nothing. I no longer exist. 2. I die, and some dickhead was right about an afterlife, and now I gotta stress about where that's gonna lead me. I struggled for a while just waiting for the day it's finally over through most of my teen years, but I'm in my early 20s now and realizing how amazing and beautiful life is. As much as there is bad stuff, there is also great things. Surrounding yourself with people and things that are positive and make you happy is key. Whatever comes after death doesn't affect what we can do now to enjoy what we know we have or can have. Hope you have a wonderful life, my friend. Smile. I'm 16 right now and I just feel so shit all the time. I just don't seem to bond with people. I cannot find real and whole life friends. I'm in middle school and everyone in my class seems like an asshole and just don't want to talk normally, but when they talk with someone else they seem so fine to talk. My whole friends group turned out to be snakes and I'm just alone and sad. What or how to change things? I'm not happy with how everything around me is. Hey. So I was like you, I still am, and I was too. I just want to say that you have no idea who you will impact, who you will meet, and who will be thankful to meet you. The same goes for who you have met, and who they met beyond you. You don't know me, I don't know you, and we probably never will know each other. Or who knows? We might have even seen each other at the airport. We might know the same people. You might even know me personally. My point is, you have no idea how meaningful you may be to this world, even if it means you simply gave your seat to someone who needed it on the train. Maybe you bought someone's sandwich behind you in line, or you might have said something genuine to someone that they will never forget. That person will remember you, and when the time comes, they will bestow upon someone else the beauty that may come through this life because they felt compelled to do so. It is always a possibility. You are here. There is a heart within us all, and you have been, you are, you will be cherished, in my opinion. Energy cannot be created, nor destroyed. Love you, man. There's gonna be a lot of good stuff that I'm gonna miss, but also a lot of bad stuff. Life isn't all sunshine and rainbows, and overall it seems to have evened out to be 33% good stuff, 33% boring routine, and 33% bad stuff. When you get older, as health declines, the brain gets fuzzier, the world starts passing you by and you have to rely more on others to function. I'd say that, optimistically, that would shift to 20% good stuff, 40% boring routine, and 40% bad/challenging stuff. I just focus on the fact that when I die, while I will miss out on that 20% of the good stuff, I get to completely evade that 80% of routine and bullshit. Not a bad way to think of it. A pretty decent summary. Serious, if you're old enough to be mostly free of responsibility again and you want more of the good stuff, get a video game console and learn how to use it. If nerds can waste their teens and 20s doing it, then I'd wager the same applies to your 70s and 80s. If you get too lazy though, you might die, so watch out for that. Well, if you want my perspective, the point of living is that you have a very tiny sliver of time to be alive, and for the rest of eternity you have been and will be dead. When you are gone, all that remains of you is the consequences of your actions, so you should decide what you want those consequences to be and try to make them happen. Alan Watts' insight was quite helpful. First, he looks at birth. Try to imagine waking up without ever having fallen asleep. Then, death, which is the classic falling asleep but never waking up. Birth is just as unfathomable as death, but we made it. We're cool with it. So there's no need to stress, my friend. And this comes from a kid who's got maybe 5 years left. Existentialism. Nothing will matter to me once I'm dead, so I might as well enjoy the time I have. Being a first responder has cemented this philosophy for me. The dead aren't sad, they don't know they're dead, they don't know anything, they've gone. It sucks only for those left behind that care about them. It's not the being dead part that gets me, it's the act of dying. All one could hope for is going in your sleep, in a very quick accident, something like that, but thinking about what it would be like to feel death slowly taking you is what freaks me right out. I was in a car accident in January and thought I was going to die. A few moments of overwhelming clarity about what was happening and I reached acceptance pretty quick. But that doesn't mean I let it take me. I kept myself awake, and the daze and disorientation from head trauma actually kept me calmer, I feel like. I think the mind and body have a way of easing you into death when and if it's time. It's never bothered me, and I'm genuinely confused about the fear of dying that so many others feel. I'm scared of the pain I might feel, and I have the biological response to near-death situations. But dreading the day doesn't happen for me. For me, as one of the fearful ones, the everlasting nothing scares me. I know I won't be conscious, I know that it's the same thing like when I wasn't even born, but I am somehow scared that I will be aware that I am dead and that there is nothing and there will be no end to the nothing. If that makes sense. I just drank mulled wine. I'm kind of the same way, but after a deep dive on YouTube, shout out to Kirst Jessert, I was directed to the thought that eternity can be described as closing your eyes and counting to 1. If there's something beyond for us to be a part of, we'll have no comprehension of time past before it, and if there isn't, then eternity is still 1. Not sure if this makes sense, but it's given me vast more amounts of comfort about this. I'm not really worried about it. Momentarily died before and was brought back. I remember feeling immense peace. It was like the best nap ever. I'll be sad to leave my friends and family when my time really comes, but I'm not worried about dying or being dead. I've come close to dying, but not actually technically dying. I was really sick, and I remember thinking that maybe I was dying, and not caring very much. So, I imagine when the time comes, it'll be fine. 2 years ago a doctor told me I have cancer, and I remember that the only thought that was absolutely unbearable was leaving my then boyfriend behind alone and without me. My mom and grandparents are dead as well as my childhood pet cat, so I'm not really afraid of dying since I know I'll have some good company waiting for me, but I don't want to go too young. I'm 30 now, and if our time comes, I hope my husband goes first so he is spared the heartache of being without me. When I first realized, it scared me. The idea of me not being there, I couldn't imagine it, and it terrified me. But I got used to the idea. I realized it's like going to sleep, like not having been born. There's no good or bad. There's no time, no pain, no sorrow. You're not there. And it doesn't scare me now. I won't be there, to be scared. I was having a bit of a bad time earlier this year. I'm getting on to middle-aged and I'm not near where I thought I'd be, and I was getting kinda depressed about that. But then I remembered that I'm going to die. Like, it doesn't matter if I get that job, make that money, raise my status in the eyes of my community. Doesn't matter if I'm not who people think I should be. 'Cause I'm going to die. Fuck it, I'll just enjoy myself for the years I have left. Nothing wrong with that, 'cause it doesn't matter what I do with this life, 'cause I'm going to die. That being said, I'm not a nihilist. I don't think that nothing matters. Nothing matters to the universe, but stuff matters to humans. But we get to choose what matters to us. And there's nothing wrong with choosing happiness. And I should be trying to make others happy too, but that's a long discussion and I'm sure most people have already stopped reading. This one's a bit faithy. I'm making conclusions based on how I think the universe works, even though I have little evidence. So, pinch of salt here, but we know that time exists how it exists because of our brains and how they work. There's no reason for the arrow of time to be pointing the way that it does, in physics. At least, that's what Hawking said in a book he wrote maybe 40 years ago. Time as we perceive it isn't time as it exists. So the life that you lived, so the people you love, they will not go away. They'll be frozen forever in a static reality. It's not that people are gone. They were alive, so they are real, in the past. Until proven otherwise, I'm immortal. Thanks for watching. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Have a nice day.